everyone, it's Vicky from Minerva. In today's video I've got my top 10 pattern picks for our gorgeous new budget friendly range of cotton poplin fabrics in the Minerva Exclusive collection. So this fabric range has been available to pre-order for a little while now, but it is now in stock and available to buy on our website. So this fabric is just £9.99 a metre. And it really is the most fabulous quality cotton poplin fabric that's an absolute bargain at that price. We're so delighted with these fabrics and delighted that we're able to offer a more budget friendly range in the collection. So in case you haven't seen these before, these are cotton poplin fabrics, and cotton poplin is a soft and smooth woven 100% cotton fabric. So it has a little bit of crispness and a little bit of structure. Like you can see, it's not a very soft drapey fabric. This fabric will hold its shape, but it is still very soft and lovely to handle. It's a really versatile fabric, wonderfully easy to sew with. It just cuts and sews and presses like a dream. It's fantastic for beginners to sew in. If someone asks me, you know, what fabric I could recommend for a sewer, cotton poplin, it's always one of my top recommendations. It's a non-stretch fabric, and yeah, it's just a plain weave woven cotton. Now it's 115 grams per square metre, and that puts it into our light to medium weight category here at Minerva. And certainly in most colourways it's opaque, you certainly can't see through the fabric. On a lighter colour print, like we have one with a white background coming up, I don't think you can see through the fabric at all, but you know, maybe depending on what you're making, you might want to consider lining it, but personally I wouldn't on any of these fabrics. So in terms of what you can make with it, it is so versatile, this fabric. You can make tops, shirts, skirts, dresses, jumpsuits, summery kind of trousers or shorts, and lots more. You know, it's also really popular for things like bag making, little like craft projects, cushions, patchwork and quilting, and you know, lots more. It really is a wonderfully versatile, all kind of round fabric. Yeah, and in the patterns that I've got to share with you today, I've hopefully come up with a broad range of dressmaking patterns, just to give you some really specific ideas on, you know, the sorts of things you can make. You know, often in my videos I might just say, you know, it's suitable for tops and dresses, you know, that sort of thing, which is fine, but I think sometimes just having specific pattern recommendations, it just gives you a really good idea, doesn't it, on the sort of styles to look for. Because like I said, cotton poplin, it has that little bit of crispness, a little bit of structure, so you wouldn't want a pattern, for example, that requires a really soft and drapey fabric, because that, you know, probably wouldn't work very well. So hopefully with my pattern suggestions today, it's going to leave you really inspired on all the sorts of things you can make with cotton poplin. Now, just before we get to the patterns, I'll just quickly run through the 10 gorgeous prints that we've got. So we've chosen some of our best sellers from the Minerva Exclusive collection, but we've also put some new prints in there as well, so there's a nice mix. So first of all is our Jungle Dreamer design, which is one of our best-selling prints in the entire collection. Isn't that just so fun? I love the teal colour in the background and those cheeky leopards there, just with all the flowers and the foliage around. It's such a lovely design. Next up we've got Popcorn Jelly, and this is in the Fairground colourway. Now this is actually a design that's been designed by Rachel Parker, who is an amazing fabric designer, and just look at the gorgeous colours in this. So it has a soft white come ivory colour background, and then all these beautiful pops of all the colours of the rainbow in there. Yeah, and it's definitely a, it's a smaller scale print, this one. It's more subtle and, you know, a pared back sort of print, but it's still really special with those gorgeous colours. Next up we've got something a little bit different. Now this one is called Prehistoric Palms, and this one is a dinosaur print, or a dinosaur skeleton print. Really quite quirky and unusual, but it's so cool. So this one is like a graphite grey come black colour in the background, and then it has these really funky dinosaur skeletons over the surface. But then when you look closely, and you might struggle seeing this on camera, but you'll hopefully be able to see it on the close-up pictures on our website, in the background it has palm trees in a very subtle, slightly darker colour than the actual background colour. So you see it in the flesh, but it is definitely, you know, it's another subtle layer in the print, and it's just, yeah, it's so fun, so quirky. Yeah, so many fun things you could make in that print. Next up, we've got a gorgeous floral print design. So this one is called Layered Blooms, and it's a lovely colour palette, this one. So we've got greens, like a jewel jade green, a sunshine yellow, a lilac colour, and then this soft sort of ivory in the flowers. It's so, so pretty. Yeah, such a gorgeous floral. It just makes you think of spring and summer, and yeah, I mean, certainly a print you could wear all year round, but it really has a fun, playful colour palette that's, yeah, absolutely beautiful. Then we have a new design. So this one is called Blazing Bengals. Love the name of this one. And this one features Bengal tigers all over the surface, but the colour palette is what makes this one different. So it's got a rich deep purple colour in the background, and then these pinks, purples and turquoises in the actual tigers themselves. It's such another kind of fun, quirky print. I think Cotton Poplin, because of the sorts of things you can make in it, you know, it often suits a slightly more quirky print, something a bit more different and unusual. Yeah, and this is certainly that. It's absolutely stunning. Next up, so this is the one that I mentioned earlier, the white with the white colour background. So this one is called Dalmatian Dash. It's another brand new design, and it's a really sweet little doggy Dalmatian print. So it's got all these Dalmatians, quite a small scale of the surface, and then in between them it's got the Dalmatian spots, like animal prints. Really fun, and the whole design is printed on black on the crisp white background. So it's very fresh, very kind of crisp looking. Really lovely, and something a little bit different, that one, for the collection. Next up, this is actually another design by the fabulous Rachel Parker, and this one is called Python Prayer in the sand colourway, and this is absolutely stunning, this design. It's so unusual, so quirky, I love it. So at first when you look at it, you probably just see a leafy print design in this gorgeous sort of apricots and soft creamy colours and the greens and the navies, but then when you look up close, it's actually got snakes weaving in and out of the leaves. It's fabulous, and it's one of those that's quite sort of subtle, but then when you look up close you see the snakes, and it just adds the wow factor. It's an amazing print, that one. Next up, we've got one of my personal favourites, and if you've watched my videos before, you'll know I love teal as a colour. This one is called Confetti Cascade. It's the teal colourway, and isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I love the abstract kind of brushstroke nature of this print, all those beautiful colours. It's quite colourful, but it does have a richness and depth to it, this print. It's very special, I think, and yeah, that's definitely one I'm going to be sewing with. Next up, we've got, this is one of our, if not our best selling print in the whole collection, so we had to print it on the Cotton Poplin. So this one is called Boudoir Bouquet, and it is a beautiful floral print design in shades of like sort of bluey teals, fuchsia pinks, hints of turquoise, and even little hints of purple in there. It's just stunning, this print. Very wearable, yeah, just gorgeous rich deep colours in there. And then the last print I've got, this is another quite new print. This one is called Celestial Cats, and it's the navy colourway. So it's a very rich deep midnight sort of navy blue, and it really is a magical print, this one. So you can see on there those tigers, and then all the celestial motifs, so the stars and moons, the crystals on there. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And like I say, it's a navy coloured background, but then it has the gold print, but then there's pops of this like a vivid sort of purple colour in the print as well, that really just lift it and add an extra something special to the print. Just absolutely gorgeous. So that's the 10 designs. So now let's take a look at some pattern pairings, you know, just to hopefully give you lots of ideas. So we'll insert the images as we go through the video, and let's start with Simplicity 3004. So this is a very easy to sew wrap over style v-neck like top or blouse pattern. It's got an elasticated channel at the waist and then a gorgeous peplum detail from that. So the shape of it is beautiful. And then you've got 3 different sleeve options. So you've got the option to leave it sleeveless. You've got a little short flutter sleeve, which is really pretty, and then you also have these full length sleeves that go into a deep cuff that are just fabulous. Now this pattern, I think the option that's on the envelope that's been sewn up in like a white fabric, that to me looks like a cotton poplin fabric. Because on the sleeves it's holding the shape of those sleeves, it's holding the shape of that peplum, and that's exactly what the cotton poplin fabric will do. It will really sort of exaggerate the shape of this pattern, and you know, it will just look absolutely fabulous. Next up, I've got the Nell blouse and dress pattern from Tilly and the Buttons. Now this was a super popular pattern last year. It actually made it into our top 10 bestsellers of the year if you watched that video I filmed earlier in the year, and it's absolutely so easy to see why it's been so popular. So it's a gorgeous button up v-neck gathered waist seam dress or blouse, and you've all different sleeve options. And then also what's really special is you also have the option to, instead of doing button fastenings, is to do a little tie bow fastening all the way down the front, which has been such a big trend of late, hasn't it? And yeah, I think in the cotton poplin, in this pattern, it will really hold the shape of the dress or blouse. And yeah, it will really, I mean, that puff bow sleeve, it will really hold the shape of that sleeve absolutely fabulously. And yeah, it's a slightly oversized sort of fit, this dress. So in the cotton poplin, it's really going to work with that oversized nature and yeah, give it that sort of feel. Next up, I've got the patina blouse from the Friday Pattern Company. So this is a nice and easy confident beginner pattern. Fantastic size range, extra small to 7X. And this, it's a collared v-neck button-up blouse. So you've 2 different sleeve options, one that's full length with a cuff and one that's a shorter, just very plain sleeve. And you actually have 2 different neckline depth options on this pattern. So if you're someone that doesn't like a low V, you've got the higher option, which I think is great. And yeah, just I think the crisp, very pointed V sort of neck collar in this would sew up so beautifully in the cotton poplin. It's going to be really nice and crisp, and it's going to hold the shape of either of those sleeves really well. Again, it's definitely going to create a more sort of shirt type feel rather than a soft drapey blouse, but that, you know, would be so lovely in one of the poplins. Next up, I've got another pattern from the Friday Pattern Company, and this is again fantastic inclusive size range, and this is the Donny shirt. Now this again has been another amazingly popular pattern in the Minerva sewing community. You guys love this pattern. Now we recently actually launched some kits in this, and in the kits we use a soft drapey fabric. Now the cotton poplin isn't soft and drapey, but this pattern is very versatile in that you can use a soft and drapey fabric that will give, you know, a more softer kind of look, but the cotton poplin will keep that boxy sort of shape. And I've seen lots and lots of versions of it made in a more crisp and structured fabric like a cotton poplin, and it just works so beautifully. It's really one of those patterns that you can use lots and lots of different fabric types for it. But yeah, it's a fantastically wearable kind of wardrobe workhorse piece is this one. So yeah, I wanted to include that pattern as I think that's a really inspiring one. And next up, we've got a new look 6692, and this is a gorgeous, quite summery, beautiful, very feminine, pretty dress pattern. So with this pattern, it has a square neckline. You've got the option for sleeveless or a little short puff bow sleeve, gathered in at the waist, and then you have an extra panel that's gathered to the bottom of the skirt. Quite simple in a way, but just, yeah, absolutely gorgeous summer dress. You have 2 different length options as well, so lots to choose from. And then actually the back panel of the dress is actually sheared, which makes it much easier to fit because you've got a lot of wiggle room with the stretch that's created from the shearing. And cotton poplin fabric is just a lovely fabric to shear, nice and easy to do, and it just looks really nicely when it's sheared. So yeah, I think that would make a gorgeous summery cotton dress. Next up we have Simplicity 8014, and this is one of our best-selling shirt dress patterns. And we sell lots and lots of different shirt patterns here, shirt dress patterns here at Minerva, but this is always a super popular one every year. You've lots of different options with this pattern. So you have quite a straightish shape, or you have one that's a more, not a full circle skirt, but a much fuller skirt. Obviously all the options have a button-up closure. You've got the option to add a belt on. You've lots of different pocket options. So you've got sort of more side seam pockets and then patch pockets at the top as well. And then you have different collar options, different sleeve length options. Literally the mix and match sort of possibilities with this pattern go on and on. So you can really choose, you know, every detail you want to make your perfect shirt dress pattern. And this, you know, shirts or shirt dresses are one of the first things I think of when I think, you know, what to sew in cotton poplin. So this will be absolutely amazing in the new fabric range. Next of all, I've got some pyjamas. So cotton poplin is fabulous for pyjamas, and I've chose the ever popular Caroline pyjamas from Closet Core Patterns. It's a classic pyjama style, and you have 3 different views in the pattern. They feature a classic notched collar. They all have a curved hem, which I think is really pretty. They have a breast pocket, and then you have 3 sleeve options. So a full length sleeve, a full length sleeve with piping, or a shorter length sleeve. And then for the pyjama bottoms, you've got a straight legged trouser or pant with or without a cuff detail, or you've got the cuff short as well. They all feature an elasticated waist. They've got pockets with a 4-fly, and yeah, I think it's one of those patterns, it's quite an investment of time making these, especially if you do the piped options, but they're absolutely gorgeous when they're made. I think everybody's experience in the Minerva community that I've read on making this pattern say the same thing, that it's a more involved sew, but boy is it worth it, because they're absolutely gorgeous at the end. And I think in the cotton poplin it would just make a absolutely gorgeous pair of pyjamas. It'd be so, you know, feel like luxury for yourself every time you wore them. And next up I've got a very simple top pattern from Tessuti Patterns called the Cora top. This is a relatively new pattern and it's already been very popular. It's got a very round, very simple neckline, a seam down the front, grown on sort of almost like elbow length sleeves, and then it's got pockets from the side seams at the front as well, and then just very plain at the back, slightly sort of shaped like a curved hemline. So it's very simple. It's rated as an advanced beginner pattern, so nice and easy to sew. I think it'd be very quick to sew as well. And I think in the cotton poplin it would just hold the shape very nicely. It'd show off a print very well as well. Yeah, so very nice simple top pattern there. Then next of all I've got the barrel dress from the Assembly Line Patterns, and I love this dress. It's a dress with drama. It's a dress pattern that certainly requires a fabric with volume, sorry, not with volume, with body and structure to hold the volume in the sleeves and the structure and the shape of the dress. So it has a round simple neckline and then these amazing barrel sleeves. So they have a seam in the sleeve with like a panel at the bottom, and that's what helps create this barrel shape. Now if you made this pattern in a very soft drapey fabric, you would just lose all that shape and the definition. So you really want something with a bit of structure, a bit of crispness. The cotton poplin is just perfect. It then has a seam at the waist and a seam further down the skirt on the dress as well. And again, that sort of creates almost like a barrel shape in the skirt as well. Yeah, really lovely. I think it's a very designer looking, quite unusual pattern, that one. And made up in one of these gorgeous prints, it would just look absolutely fabulous. And then the last pattern I've got to share with you today are some quite simple shorts, perfect for summer, for loungewear, and these are the Sonia shorts from Tessuti Patterns. So they have an elastic waist, patch pockets on the front, and you could also add them on the back if you wanted to, I think. And then they have a little turn up detail as well. This is another one that's rated for a beginner, so nice and easy to sew. And again, the cotton poplin, it would just be absolutely lovely for some, you know, just some quick and easy to make summer shorts. So that's all the pattern ideas that I had to share with you today, and we've run through all the fabrics, so I really hope you enjoyed taking a look at those. And yeah, I hope those patterns will give you some, you know, lots of ideas on specific things you can make. And even if those particular patterns aren't for you, hopefully me sort of going through the details on why I've chosen them will help steer you towards patterns that are you know, suitable for cotton poplin, and they're going to make a really successful sew. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that. As always, I'll tag all the fabrics and the patterns below this video, so if you just click on those links you'll be able to you know, find those products on Minerva. And as always, the fantastic thing with the Minerva website is when anybody in the community shares makes that they've made with either these patterns or fabrics, they tag them to the post, they will show on the product pages. So there's always lots of inspiration on the product pages, you know, showing what other people in the community have made. And I think it's always just really inspiring, isn't it, to see fabrics and patterns made up on different people, made by people of different sewing abilities, people of all different shapes and sizes as well. Just being able to see the scale of a print, you know, when it's made up on a garment. And often, you know, people in the community are so generous in sharing their sewing tips and their experiences of sewing with a pattern and fabric. So there's always loads of really good information to, you know, an inspiration to sort of take from the site as well. So yeah, we'll tag everything below, so if you're interested in any of them, you can find them below. Just to mention, we do offer free, super fast, worldwide delivery here at Minerva. So wherever you're watching us from in the world, we can send parcels of sewing joy out to you. We do offer a thread matching service for all our fabrics. We offer a sample service too, so if you want to, you know, see and feel the fabric in the flesh before you commit to buy, that's no problem at all. And we do also sell all our fabrics in increments as well, so you only need to buy the exact amount that you need, so there's no wastage there. And also, if you're a member of our Minerva Craft Club, then you will save 10% off everything on our website, including everything, all the products I've featured today. And if you're not a member yet, you know, we will put a link to it below, so if you're interested you can check that out. And if you become a member, you get 10% off absolutely everything on our website for the entire year, and that's always on top of any offers or sale promotions or anything that we run, so you're always saving with that membership. So I think that's everything I wanted to mention. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope you found that inspiring. I certainly enjoy sharing those fabrics with you, and I really enjoy picking out those patterns. It's always yeah, it's a really sort of fun creative project to think, you know, what you could make with these patterns, and hopefully give you lots of ideas and inspiration. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please do give us a like and a follow if you enjoyed the video, that really helps us out. And I'll look forward to seeing you again next time with another video filled with sewing and fabric goodness.